Hey everybody, it's Matthew. Welcome back to the channel. Today, since I'm still in the E5 tuning on this guitar and it's a pain in the butt to change it, we're going to just stick with this for a little bit, and I'm going to make another video and we're going to learn how to play a song, or anyway the main riffs of a song here. And it is Somewhere by Soundgarden, which is the 6th track on Badmotorfinger, I believe, that is in this tuning. And it's a fun song, and it's partially what inspired my playthrough song that I did in the E5 tuning demo. And so today we're going to explore that song a bit right here. I will try my best to keep the microphone squared in a good position. Hopefully the audio is a little better on it this time than it was before. Apologies if that was a little weird. But anyway, we're going to get right into it here with this first riff. Alright, and as you guys saw, that was the first riff there with those open chords here, then the 3rd fret, hold it down, 5th fret, and then alternate between those two here. So we're going to go through it just a little bit slower here. And it's going to start with those first 3 open notes there, like you saw, like this. And it's basically at that speed if you don't go to the next part, but you have those open ones there, and then you're going to switch to that 3rd fret, bear it down with all of your frets, well, most of them anyway. It's unclear if it's all of them or not. The song, I mean, it's got a lot of guitar noise, so it could be all of them, it could be some of them, don't really know. The main thing I think is to get the bottom 4 down, so your first 2 E's and your first 2 B's, getting all those down and playing it, I think, is the ideal sound for this. Anyway, moving on, and then we're going to go to this 3rd fret here, which has got a delayed 16th note, I believe. I think that might be on the open strike, and then we go to this 3rd fret with a 16th note or something like that. So it's going to be like this. And then you go back to regular 8th notes after you do that. So with this is better with the open strums, and then back to this. You know, you'll get an idea of how it's supposed to sound when I do that. So you have those regular 1, 2, those are just quarter notes, and then we go to that dotted 16th, and then the 8th notes there, back to some quarter notes. I think it is just 8th notes there when you get to those slower 3rd fret hits. Then after we do that, we're going to switch to this 5th fret here and then play this part on the end of it. So it's just 5th fret open, 5th fret twice, and then we turn back around and play the riff again. And then the picking pattern is very important here, so you want to start with downstrokes there. You can do all downstrokes on the open ones, but when you come back on that 3rd there, you really got to get that open strike, and you should come back down with the downbeat of those open strikes again, hitting it, striking it, or strumming down, and that's how ideally you would want to strum this. So that's how you do that there. There is a change up here that Kim plays. He plays something a little bit different in this rhythm here. And he does that normal first open strike, but he's going to change it by actually doing a double stop on these first two B's here, your B3 and your B2 here, where your D and G string would normally be. He's going to hit that on the 5th fret, bend it up, then go back to the 3rd fret, and then he'll have some of these open ones, and then play these higher frets up here where those big strikes on the 5th fret that we had earlier in the regular main riff. So his change up to this is going to be like this. So it's like that. We have the open and then the 5th fret bended up, 3rd fret, 3 open strikes there, and then for our normal thing, it's going to be up on these higher strings here with 5th fret, open fret, 5th fret twice. And that's where a lot of the extra noise comes from, is from what Kim is doing. So, you know, Chris and Kim are not responsible for the same amount of notes. Generally speaking, Chris is going to have the least complex part on the Badmotorfinger songs, and Kim will have the more complicated one. And that's really it there for the first verse until you get into the chorus. And the chorus is where this song gets pretty funky, and we're going to learn that riff right here. Okay, so that's the full speed one here. Let's break this down. And I believe Chris and Kim are basically playing the same thing here. The endings might be slightly different between the two of them, but that's really it. Most of the main riff is going to be the same for both. So we're going to have this walk down starting at the 8th fret of your lowest B here. So you're making a double stop between that and the higher B like we did earlier with that changed up version of the main riff. And then it's going to be a walk down from 8, 7 to 5 like this, which is just 8th notes there. I mean, it's a triplet kind of thing, but I think it's mostly 8th notes there. That's what that is. And then we have this chromatic moving up 2 frets to these big E's here. And I think you do have the B, the low B also fretted here for this, and it's just a chromatic walk down from 7, 6 to 5. And then you play the 5 again after that first one on that same rhythm, so it's going to be like this. Then that's shortened, and then normally there is a little bit of a muted note. I think there's supposed to be 2. I usually just do 1 because it's easier for me to get back to this transition to the next part of that. You know, so I'll have this and then just do 1 muted hit. And then we go to a walk up here, doing the same thing we did to start with these 2 B strings here, but we're walking it up this time, which is going to be like this from the 9th to the 10th to the 12th. So it's just that nice sounding move here, and then we have a chromatic walk up from the 10th to the 11th to the 12th like this. So it's going to be like this. Now I usually hammer down the 11th one and then hit the 12th because I can get it sounding out a little bit easier that way. So we're going to have like this. And then we're going to have the 12 hit again. So these kind of progress, this first lick and then this lick here, they kind of progress the same way with a walking part like that, and then the extra hit on the last chord. Of course, this one's a walk down, this one's a walk up, so they're kind of mirror images of each other. So we have the second strike on the 12. After that, we're going to go down here to this bar on the 2 B strings, the 8th fret. We're going to hit the 8th fret and then hammer it on the 9th. Like that. And then the next part is we're going to go to the 8th fret here on this on the E string, and we're going to do a 3-note chord here like we would before, and it's just going to be like this, and it's that kind of timing there. And then that last note is a little bit shorter, and then you go to the 3rd fret here, still holding down the same strings, so it'll be like this. And then we turn the riff back around and play all that walking stuff again like we did before. I guess I'll play it slow though because there's a lot going on with this, so you guys can really see it. that's the main riff right there. There is a little bit of a slide after that 12th fret gets hit here when you go, and then you go to this 8th fret here on the B string, hammer on the 9. But it's not necessarily that audible. You don't have to do it. But if you can get a little bit of a slide, then that's important. So we play all that again, and the only thing that changes is the ending, which is going to start with 2 hits of this 8th fret here on these low 3 strings instead of the 3 that we had before. So it's going to be like. So that's a pretty simple walk down there. You hit 8th fret twice, muted notes, 7th fret twice, 5th fret twice, and then open strum, and then you're out of there. Now Kim's part is a little bit different. He does a faster pick, so he hits it 2 extra times when he does it. So it's just kind of like this on the 7th and 5th fret after that we hit the 8th fret twice and then the 2 muted hits, and he's going to do like this. So that's it. That's the only difference between the 2 of them on how those end. So we do that, and then it's back to the main riff again like we had before. There are some slight change-ups here, like picking some of the open hits, hitting the higher strings only and not hitting these low ones. So it would be like this. So doing that in kind of the same rhythm, it's a little bit of a change up because when you do those, you're not hitting these 3rd frets as fast. It doesn't feel like you're going from that switch to the 3rd fret like we did as quickly before. So it would be more like this. So like that, and that's really the only other change up to the main riff there that you go through. And then on Chris's guitar, there is a little bit of a different thing happening here. He's got this funky little line that happens in the 2nd verse, I believe, and it goes like this. And so that's it. It's just 12th fret, 13th fret of one of the E strings here. The second one because it's easier to get to the other notes from here. So it's just 12, 13, and then 15 on the lowest B string. Same thing again, but we go 12th fret. And then the last part is do the same thing as the first part, but walk it back down. And that's just a little extra thing that happens there. There is another part that happens in the verse that Kim plays that also occurs in the bridge. And it's following the vocal melody of the bridge section here. And it's going to be these double stops here. And you're going to see that right now. So that's pretty simple here, right? It's just 5th fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret again, slide it up 5th fret, slide it up to 8th fret, 7th fret, back to the 3rd, and then you play the same pattern again, but you end on the 5th fret instead for the last 2. There's not really a lot of detail that needs to happen on this one. It's pretty simple, so you guys ought to get it from the playing part there that I just showed you. That only happens a couple times in the song that gets played at all. And then after you've done that, you come back through and play the 2nd chorus. So the change up on the 2nd chorus is it's doubled in length. So you're going to play the riff we saw earlier in the chorus twice. And you're going to play it once the normal way through, play it once again, and then end it normally how we would with this 8th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret. And then you just turn back around and play it again. There's not a difference or a change there. You're just playing that twice. And after that, we start to get into some of the funkier stuff. There is a long play out jam section at the end of this that has this particular lick here that happens repetitively for several bars. And of course, you come into it, Kim does this weird little move here where he just turns the pick sideways and you scrape it, and run it down the high strings here, and it just comes in with that. And then the way you're going to start off this lick, you're going to go 3rd fret on our normal B string here, and then you're going to play open and this 3rd fret here on the other B string like this. And then it's going to go into this lick here like this. And you're just going to play this open E here, B, and then open this open B here. Remember, these two strings here are the same B note, and it's going to open with this open E, and then you're going to play it as play a dotted 16th there, and go to the 3rd fret here on this B, and then this open B here. So that's an important thing to note. And after that, it goes to playing the lick again, but straight instead of with that dotted note. So connecting the two would be like this. Now, in the song, this doesn't seem quite as noisy as that sounds, so you can also alternatively play it by doing this 5th fret here on the B, 3rd fret, and then our open one like we normally had, which reduces the noise a little bit, and I think makes it sound a little bit closer to the actual song. I'm not entirely positive what they're doing there, because the noise level from doing both of these open, this E and this B, seems like a little too much, so you can do this. That open B is obviously there. That sounds a little closer to the sound they're getting. And then when you do that, when you end it, however many bars later it is, it goes on for a while, like 30 seconds at least. You play that, and then you go to this 5th fret here on the lowest B here on our 3rd string, and we're going to go to this fun pull off lick here that it has. So you're going to start on this 5th fret, and it's going to go like this. So here's the full speed. Alright, so there it is. It's a pretty simple thing, and this will go on through the remainder of the song. Actually has a fade out, and then it fades back in, and you're just not changing this. And then, of course, Kim has some assorted harmonics he plays throughout this section, and then at the very end, he'll repeat the bridge melody part that he did before, but it's going to be on the E string that time, on the high E when he does that. And I'll show you that in a little bit, but first we're going to look at this lick. So it's the 5th fret here, and then you're going to do 3rd fret, hammer on, pull off. So your 5th fret, 3rd fret, hammer on, pull to the 5th, pull off back to the 3rd, and then pull that off to the open string like that. And then you're going to play after that 3rd fret, and then do the same pattern here, but we're going to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then out like this. So like that. And then this 3rd fret on the E, and then open E. And then you end the song by hitting this 5th fret again. So this was what that would sound like when you ended it. And then as for Kim's part here, it's just like we did before, but we're down here. And then that's the end of the song, everybody. That is all the riffs right there together. I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth look at the song Somewhere. It is one of my favorite Soundgarden tracks. It's kind of a deep cut, but we like deep cuts around here. Anyway, I hope you guys like and subscribe after that. Hopefully you liked it enough to do that at the very least. Leave a comment down below if you want, and as always, I will see you guys next week for another video. Have a good one.